Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Corinne and this is Corycreates, and this is a channel where I talk primarily about cross stitch, but I am also a bag maker, a quilter, and a garment maker. So I sew a lot as well, and this is my Flosstube number 47. So I'm super excited to be back before you. It is mid-February 2026. As a matter of fact, today is President's Day. So I am off. So I just said I have got to get a video in on my day off. Super excited to be back with you. I don't have a whole lot to share, but it's enough to pique your interest and something for you to keep in mind as I move forward through the year. I've got a couple of new starts. I have a mini finish, and I've got some whips that I am focusing on for this month. I will have a short, very brief life update after my stitching presentation, and then I will go from there. So I hope you all are having a good 2026 so far. We are over here. If this is your first time here, I welcome you. I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and right now I think it's, let me look. It's 60 degrees outside. You all, Missouri has been Missouri, okay? We've gone from freezing temps. I think we hit 70s a week or so ago. So I don't know. I'm going from the coat to the trench coat to the denim jacket to just a sweatshirt. I don't know. But if you live in the Midwest, you already know. So that is what I have for you today. And I do have quite a few people that I'm going to shout out later on. Just people that I've been watching. I have been watching quite a bit of YouTube. Not necessarily Flosstube, but I have started to catch up on my Flosstube. But my sweatshop is coming together, so I am still watching a lot of sewing room tours. And I'm fully functional down here right now. Project bag making has, production has gone back up. I have a Etsy shop, Layla P Creations, where I sell my project bags. And I do have some personal project bags that I made for myself to share with you a little later as well. I don't seem to have time to do that very often, but I did punch out a few for myself over the last couple of weeks. We had a couple of snow days. Like I said, we had like 8 or 9 inches of snow a few weeks ago. So that's when I got the majority of those done. Thank you to my returning friends for coming back to see me. I appreciate you all so much, especially your comments, and some of you all keep me on my toes and let me know, make sure I don't miss a thing. If someone has shouted me out, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this now, my friend Jasmine, thank you, sis. She always sends me a message and lets me know that somebody has shouted me out on my channel. So I appreciate you, Jasmine. Let's see, what else do I have for you? I think we could just go ahead and get started, and when it comes to me, I'll say it. I'm still playing around with this light. I probably should have got up a little earlier. It's still morning, but it's getting to be towards midday now, and that light, that direct sunlight is starting to come in here, so it's reflecting off my glasses. So I'm trying to hold my head down, or at least turn to an angle a little bit so the glare is not as bad. I tried taking them off. That's not going to work. So we will press on. So let's see, what am I going to talk to you all about first? Let's talk about my finish. Like I said, it is a mini finish, and it is Big City Christmas. I did show this on my whip parade, and thank you so much for everybody who watched my whip parade. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of new subscribers as a result, and I hope those of you that are new continue to come back. And just thank you to all my returning friends for constantly commenting and interacting with me. I really appreciate it. But here is Big City Christmas. I finished the hotel, and this is what it looks like. So I finished this one over here. And I got a little stick. So the only thing I did different was I did do a skin tone change on him. And you notice I have not put his eyes on yet. I'm hoping I can find some teeny tiny beads. Because y'all know how I feel about French knots. But I don't think anybody has eyes yet. But the hotel is finished. I think I'm going to call it the Chase. Because that is a local, very high-end hotel that's been around a long time here in the St. Louis area. So I am going to change that one. Instead of it just saying hotel, it's going to say Chase. The Chase Park Plaza Hotel, if you're familiar with St. Louis, is what I'm going to name it after. So that is Big City Christmas. I am moving along. I only have 2 more to do, you all. So you all, I know I outlined this in my whip parade, but this one I'll just remind you as I go through each one of these what my goal is for each one of them. And this one, it is a finish. And I would really like to finish it by summer so I can start something new for Jolly July. So the next 2 that I have, and I believe the restaurant is next. And then the last one is going to be the music hall, I think. I'm not sure which order. Actually, yes, the restaurant is next. And the reason I know that because it has the bow. They all connect and every other one is the bow. And I know it ends with just the swag. So these are the last 2 that I have to do. This has been a long-standing project, but it is coming to a close, and I am excited about that. So let's go into my new starts. I have 2. And the first one I started after I finished Big City Christmas Hotel. Because I told you all, one of my goals for this month is to do the Merry Monday. So that'll be a Christmas stitch every Monday. So today is Monday, so this is what I will be working on. But my new start for Merry Monday is Hometown Holiday. Now I have done 2 previous Hometown Holidays and I am getting back to them because I want to get them done. I think how I'm going to finish these is they will be individually on like a block of some sort. Maybe styrofoam, maybe wood. I haven't decided yet. And then decorated with a bow on top and some pretty fabric on the back. That's the plan anyway. But the one I am starting right now is the ice cream shop. This is one of the more recent ones. It is number 24. And I believe there are 25 so far in the collection. I don't see any time it's going to stop. Okay, they haven't indicated that they're coming to a close anytime soon. And I just love all of these. I've seen them done so many different ways. Some people group 2 or 3 of them together in a row to make like a little street scene. A lot of people do them individually like I'm going to do. So I'm very excited. And I wanted to do this one because of the pinks. Okay, it's got lots of pinks and colors in it. So this is my start. Actually, I'm going to take off this little magnet so you all can see. This is being done, I believe, on a 32 count Lugana, and it is taupe because I have the other 2 that I have done on this same piece. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, they are. The other 2 are there. So this is my start. This was only 2 nights. And this is also my snow stitch. So whenever we have snow days, this is what I will work on. And a couple of Mondays and Tuesdays ago, we had snow days. So I said, you know what, since Big City Christmas is done, I'm going to get this one out and get started on it. So this is Hometown Holiday, the ice cream shop, and that is my start. And I'm looking forward to working on it a little bit more this evening. My last new start is an important one. This is a mystery stitch along by Shaded Stitchery. It is called Data Portraits in Paris Part 2. I do have Data Portraits in Paris Part 1, but I have not done it yet. But it uses similar colors to this one. So as soon as this one is done, I will go ahead and start it. But we are halfway through Black History Month. So one of the things that I'm focusing on this month are my more cultural stitches, and this is one of them. And actually it's one of two that I have going right now by Shaded Stitchery. So there is no preview that I can give you, no chart cover that I can show you, but I can show you one of the pamphlets that she has sent out with this project. And I wish I could have printed this in color. It's gorgeous in color. But this is kind of like the prep guide that she gave us with some of the history. So basically this was a exposition in Paris in 1900 that W.E.B. Du Bois had a major part in, and it was basically outlining they had an exhibit in Paris, and I'm just really paraphrasing this. She gives you all the history on this, and it's wonderful. But there was a Negro exhibit at this fair, and it may be the World's Fair. It was in 1900, but it was done in Paris, and the fair had a Negro exhibit, and in this exhibit, W.E.B. Du Bois and his colleagues set up an exhibit showing the effects of things like Jim Crow and racism and things like that, the effect that they had on migration of African Americans here in the United States. So it is a lot of charts and graphs and things of that nature. So, and they were very colorful charts and graphs. So Nuri, the designer behind Shaded Stitchery, she has reimagined those charts and graphs and put them into a picture and a chart. So she has broken this chart down into weekly pieces. Let me see if I can find the schedule that she gave us. I don't know if it's in here. It should be. No, this is just all the history in here. Let me find my other handout. Yes. And this is the project bag that I'm keeping this project in. This is one of the ones I did manage to make for myself. But she is dropping 20 times. So 20 different parts to this project. And she has broken down the chart into weekly drops. So it was a center start. And then I have 3 drops have occurred. So 1, 2, 3. So I have only completed drop 1 and started drop 2. I'm not necessarily trying to keep up every week, but I want to stay up with it so that I'm finished around the same time as everybody else. And the last drop is June 14th. So right in time for Juneteenth on the 19th. So I would like to be finished with it by Juneteenth. So that just means I just need to stay within striking distance each week, and I don't let the weeks get too far ahead of me. I did do my own color conversion on this. I did a color and cotton conversion, and this is being stitched on 32 count Aslan by Atomic Ranch. And I know I will be getting more of this color ASAP because I love it. But here is my palette, my version of her palette. She does have a DMC conversion. And there was a special thread pack that came with this, but I didn't order it in time. So if you want to see my conversion, I did post it on Instagram. Corycreates 08 is my Instagram. I did post it there. I have made one change to my conversion. I changed the coal, which was the black. I changed it to rustic black. When I got in the light last night, and I did just start this last night, when I got in the light underneath my big light, the coal looked more brown, and I did want it to be black. So I switched it to rustic black by Color and Cotton. But if you're interested in my conversion, just go over to my Instagram page. So here is my start. Like I said, center starts make me nervous. So I was counting, measuring, I was making sure I was in the right spot, because nothing worse than ending up at the top or the bottom and realize, or on the sides and realize you don't have enough fabric. So I finished part 1 and I started part 2. So part 1 was just this swirl in the center. And then this black is all of the beginnings of part 2. So super easy stitch. Just these first 3 parts have a total of 1,197 stitches, and I have done 274. So about a third of the stitches that I have access to right now. And it is in Pattern Keeper. It is a Pattern Keeper pattern that I have, so you can order a PDF or a paper chart from her, but I of course ordered a PDF, uploaded it to Pattern Keeper with absolutely no problem, and each time I get a new one, it uploads separately, but the stitches from before are on it. Now, I do have to go in and remark my stitches. So I think I'm just going to stay on this one till I'm done with 3. I'm looking at the 3rd version of it right now. I'm just going to delete 1 and 2 and just look at the 3rd one so I don't have to do all those stitches over again. And then moving forward, I probably won't keep remarking the stitches, you know what I mean? So that's my plan. But very easy to upload in Pattern Keeper. I have had a time with a few patterns lately uploading in Pattern Keeper, and absolutely no problem with this. So I've used about 5 or 6 colors so far, but I'm enjoying it. It's an easy stitch. I did this while my family and I were watching 2 episodes of Cross on Amazon Prime last night. That is the show based on James Patterson's books. If you haven't watched it, it's good. This is season 2 that we're on. So we watched 2 episodes last night, and this is what I got done during that time. So I love it so far. And you all, if you're not following Nuri of Shaded Stitchery, she has a Gumroad. That is how I ordered this pattern, through her Gumroad. But she's a really sweet person. She has been helping me with the Notion app. There is a app, and that I was going to talk about that later, but I'll go ahead and talk about it now. It is an app, and it's called the Stitchery app, I think, by Stitching by Natty is the name of Stitchy Natty. That's the name of the person who you can purchase the app. It's like a template, a Stitcher's template for the Notion app. And it is a game changer. I know I talked about it last time. Well, I have downloaded it and actually started using it. Stitchy Natty has a video here on YouTube. I will link it down below. But Nuri has been helpful in helping me work out the kinks on getting myself up and going. Because the main reason I needed you all, not just to track all of my patterns and whips, but my floss. I need to keep track of my floss, where it is. Because I use, especially these over dyes, I use more than one on a pattern, because some of these they're not going to use in the whole scheme. So if I want to go grab it, if I'm not working on a particular project, like for instance, there's the white in this is Tusk by Color and Cotton. Well, I'm also using Tusk in another pattern. So in the Notion template, I can mark where my threads are. So I could just make a list of all the threads that I'm using for a particular project. And then if I need to go get it, I can go look up that particular thread and find it. I have 188 skeins of Color and Cotton threads. I did get all of my Color and Cotton threads into the app, and I've also loaded all of my DMC threads into the app. Now I just have to do the other brands of overdyes that I have. So it is a game changer. You can find Stitchy Natty also on Gumroad. That is where I ordered the template. And I just have a Gumroad account, so I can always just go to Gumroad and download any of these things that I have. But total game changer having access to that information. Plus, I have the app on my phone. So if I'm out shopping and I don't, because I usually have a printout. So now I don't have to carry that anymore. I can look on the app and see, do I have any DMC 310? Do I have any DMC 04? You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to carry around all this paper. I'm a paper person, but I don't have to carry around that much, especially when I'm going shopping. If I can have it right there on my phone, that is perfect. So I have it on my desktop. That's where I do all the inputting. I also have it on my phone, and then I also have it on my work iPad. So it's super convenient. So Stitchy Natty is the person who has that app. But Nuri, thank you. She's super helpful. She is a super sweet person. And if you have not seen her drops for Nashville Market, Lindy Stitches shows them all on, I think, her number 4, either 3 or 4 video. But that sampler, that Black Girl sampler she has, that will be my patriotic stitch for this year. So thank you again, Nuri, for all your help and for your beautiful charts. And now it's time for whips. So keeping with that shaded stitchery track, my first whip that I have been working on, and this has probably been my focus whip for the last week or so. It is this Juneteenth day. Sorry about the glare. Let's get that off. There we go. This Juneteenth day by Shaded Stitchery. This is being stitched on a 32 count Dusty Cottage Lugana by Bestitch Me. I started this project in 2024 and it will be a finish in 2026. And I've just kind of been taking my time with it, you all. I haven't been rushing. Here's where I was when I showed it during my whip parade. And here's where it is now. I'm in the home stretch. I'm going to try to scoot over and get it all in there. There we go. But I finished the numbers. Okay, I had these numbers here. Now, there are some specialty stitches that I have to do. There's some Algerian eyelets that I need to add to the edges of some of these numbers. I'll go back and do that when I do these. I need to put my initials here, CP, and then I need to finish 26 over here. I left the 6 out because I did the 2 last year. But I know for sure I'm going to finish it this year. And then, of course, I started this border here. And then I started this right here. So I'm almost done. I'm at the bottom. The flag is next. I'm super excited. I've been waiting to get to that flag because that's the bulk of the color in this chart. But I still love this fabric. I love everything about this project. It's moving right along. I have done 9,224 stitches out of 12,676 stitches for a grand total of 630 stitches since the last time you saw this. And I am at 72.77%. So I've only got a fourth of this to go. That flag is a big bulk of that. So the flag starts right here. So I'm going to probably start on the flag the next time I get this out. And I will be working on this for the rest of the month. No doubt. Data portraits, this, and actually everything that I'm showing today, I'm really going to work on for the rest of the month. I'm not deviating. I got a possible new start, but I don't know. So for the rest of February, I'm definitely staying the course with the things that I have, because 2 of the 3 are very close to a finish. So I want to go ahead and get as much done as I can, because when March comes, it's all about spring. So I'm going to be getting a lot of spring stuff out. So that is this Juneteenth day. And I'm excited because it looks like it will be finished before the next Juneteenth. So that's that one. The next one that I have been working on quite a bit is the February Cottage by Cottage Needleworks. And let me get my, nope. I don't see my chart. Oh, here it is. February Cottage by Cottage Needleworks. This is being done on a 32 count Lugana. It is a mystery Lugana that I picked up from Color and Cotton. It's kind of a beige with a tiny bit of modeling in it. I like it a lot, and I have enough space on it. It's a fat quarter, I believe, so I got enough space on it to do any of the other cottages. I have not decided how I'm going to finish this yet, but I did make a couple of changes to the threads. I swapped out many of the classic Colorworks for Color and Cotton. I did swap out the white. It is actually Tusk by Color and Cotton. And then the green is Liberty by Color and Cotton. And the pink is Dream House, which is like the perfect pink. It's a Barbie pink, hence the name Dream House. But these 2 greens. And then I did the DMC called for DMC for everything else. But here, I'll try to put in where I was. But let me pull this grime guard back so you can see where I am. I'm in the home stretch on this one too, you all. I got some leaves, I think, to put in over here. Some leaves I need to put in on the bottom of this topiary. And then I think I have another white dove I need to put, or whatever that is. I got to put one here. And then I have that final border that mimics this border. And I'm done. So I'm going to keep working on this steady. I want to finish it before the end of February. I have an idea for a frame that I want to do. I know there's a frame out there that you can purchase that these will fit in perfectly. But I'm thinking of going a different route. But I haven't decided yet. So I'm going to play more around with that idea before I make my final decision. But I really like this project. Not a bad stitch at all. And I'm looking forward to doing the others. I think the others I have are November, December, October, and June. I know for sure I have June. I made sure I always get the months that everybody in my house has a birthday. So I always get those first. So that is Country Cottage Needleworks Cottage. Let me put this back in here so I don't have a mess. And I'm keeping it in this Valentine's bag that I love. So let's put that away. Now, here's my last whip. I have made a tiny bit of progress since the last time you saw it. This is Menagerie. And this is the project that I got on Etsy. And let me take it out of the sleeve that I had it in, because my son wrote on the sleeve, y'all. So it's easier to see. So this is Menagerie. Here is the artist and the Etsy shop that I got it from. But I love all the little creatures on here, and my son loves them too. But let me show you what he did. Remember last time in my whip parade, I told you that he needed to add some more colors. Well, I'm thinking, okay, we're just going to add maybe a border color. We'll add another color for all the little beasts on the inside, and that'll be it. My son has a total of now 12 colors. He has decided that each beast is going to be a different color. And then I'm just going to use those 12 colors to fill in the little mystical creatures that are in between. So all of these tiny creatures are going to each one of these has their own color. And then each one of these, I'll just pick. He's like, Mom, I'll leave it up to you what you make each one of those. So I told him to write on the paper, but he didn't. He instead wrote the numbers on the sleeve. And he wrote what numbers they were, and I pulled them all. I think I only had to buy a couple because I knew I had them somewhere, but I couldn't find them. So again, why I need that Notions template. But now I have all the colors. So let me just show you. I'm not going to say them all. I'll probably post this on my Instagram at another time once I've solidified everything. But here's where I am. Let me just show you where we are. So at first, I think I just had this part right here. And so I worked, now I'm into the body of that first creature. And I'm doing a top, middle, start. So I'm right here. It kind of looks like a deer, like it's got antler, like this is a big antler. And then there's his face. And now I'm coming down here into the body. And then this is the border color he picked, 520 DMC. So that's the skinny border everywhere. And then here are the colors. And I'm just going to kind of lay them up here so you can see. But he gave each creature its own color. And we stood in Michael's and had all these colors laying out. And this is the color that I'm currently using. And then the rest of them, I just came home once we got done standing in Michael's. Looking at the colors, I came home and just pulled the ones that I had. And I think I had all of them that he chose. So I'm just sitting them on here so you can kind of see how we did the floss toss. So these are the colors he picked. I think he did a great job. Some are a little brighter than others, but it's for him. This one right here, this one, the one I'm currently using, and I believe this one were the original colors. No, actually these three. This one, and the gold color. Those were the three originals. And then all the rest of these we have added. So this is the border. It's kind of a olive green. So very pleased and very excited. I think this is the peacock or the bird or something he picked. But he was methodical and came home and looked at, I took a picture of this while we were at the store, and then when we got home he looked at my picture and matched it up with the particular one he wanted to have it go with. So we're off and running on his project, and my goal is just to finish this first motif. Hopefully this month I can get that one done. So let me show it to you again. And this is 32 count Lugana by Stitch Me, and the color is Through the Stones. So I'm very excited that I'm also using quite a bit of these Stitch Me fabrics. I have been in that club for a couple of years now, and so I have an extensive stash of Stitch Me. So let me get all this back in here. So that is my last whip. And I think what I have, I've got a little bit of investments, and then we'll close it out. I only have one project that I really want to continue to work on this month. And it's kind of probably the only patriotic stitch that I have that I want to continue with, and that is Seeds of Freedom. I showed it in my whip parade, and I have not worked on it since, but I do want to touch this sometime in February, and then this will be my, what I would consider my patriotic stitch, along with the one that Nuri has coming out for Nashville. I've watched a couple of Lindy Stitches videos about Nashville. You all know I don't suffer from, what is it, FOMO? Fear of missing out? I don't. I can wait. If it's not going anywhere anytime soon, like if it's a chart, I have no problem waiting. And, you know, these fabrics come and go so fast. I'm starting to, outside of the club that I'm in, I'm starting to just focus on colors that I like and that the stitching that I'm doing look good on. So that's where my focus is. So let's talk about the few investments that I have. And most of this I bought way back in January. The last time I went to Color and Cotton, I got those threads that I use for data portraits in Paris, but then I also picked up these 3 greens, and I just like them. I don't know what I'm going to use them on, but I just like how they complemented each other. They had them on their Instagram page together, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna pick those up. I like how those look. I maybe want to do like a Christmas stitch. There's that Dasher and Dancer by Hobby House Press that I've been wanting to buy and do, and I'm thinking this might look good in that. These are just great tree colors, and they are Shamrock is the dark one, Clover is the light, and Asparagus is the medium. So I just really like those colors, so that's why I bought them. The next thing are my Stitch Me fabrics of the month. This one is January, and it is called Sea Glass. So you already know it's a blue, and hopefully that'll come up, but it's kind of looks kind of blue here. It's got a little more green to it to me. Every time I say that, when I play back the video and edit, it looks fine. So that's where that one is. Slight, not a lot of modeling. She's usually a heavy modeler, but this one, I like it. It's not that much. So that is Sea Glass, 32 count Lugana by Stitch Me. And then the February, I've already got my February. I was kind of surprised. Usually it doesn't come out till like the end of the month, but I got this a couple of days ago. And this is called Toe Beans. And it is I kind of squealed a little bit when I took it out the package. It's a beautiful, again, not a lot of modeling, but just enough to make it interesting. And it's a pink. I love it. So many things I can do with this. Soda stitch, just Valentine stitching, summer stitching. So I'm looking forward to finding a project for that one. I don't have a lot of pink fabrics, but I'm starting to get some more in my collection, which I'm glad about because I love pink. All right, the next few are charts. Artisy and Stitches So Beautiful had sales over Christmas. And I picked up both of these New Year's Day, I believe. This one I bought, I showed some others last video. Well, this is the one I forgot to show, but I just thought it was so pretty. They have a number of Woman in a Field of Flowers. This is number 12. That's the name of the patterns. Woman in a Field of Flowers. And then it has a number. And this is number 12. They have a number of them with different skin tones, different hairstyles, different backgrounds. This one has giraffe back here in the back, and then the flowers down front. So beautiful. It's another full coverage, 400 by 400. So it's going to work up, if I do it on 25 count, 16 by 16. So that's Stitches So Beautiful. And if you have a Stitches So Beautiful account, you might want to go back over there sometime before the end of the month. I believe they're getting a new website, and they're basically deleting everything. So if you have an account, you need to download your patterns from over there. I do remember them saying that. This next one has been on my wish list for some time, and Artisy had a sale, and I went ahead and got it. This is called The Game. And I just found this while I was browsing the website one day. But I just thought, I just loved it. It's so interesting. And I never forgot about it. I kept thinking about it, And then when I saw they had a sale, I went ahead and pulled the trigger and picked it up. Lots of brown, you all. Woo! It's a lot of brown and beige. This is full coverage. Okay? But I was looking at the stitch count. It's 280 by 248. I thought it was going to be way bigger than that. So on a 25 count, this is going to be like 13 by 14 or something like that. It's not going to be that big on a 25 count. It says on here, like if I did it on 32 count, it would be 18 by 16. So that's not bad either. So I'm just trying to decide, do I want to do it over 1 or do I want to do it over 2? Sorry for the glare. But the subject matter, they're playing checkers in case you can't see. That's the game. But I just love it. I mean, literally, this has been on my wish list for like 2 years. And I was like, you know what? Go ahead and get it. And then I got excited when I saw the stitch count was not as big as I thought it was. So that might be a start sooner rather than later. And then the last thing is, I told you in my last video, I was thinking about joining some Patreons. And I did. I joined Nuri's for Shaded Stitchery. Just the first level. And then I also joined the first level of Tiny Modernist. She is one of my favorite designers as well. And this was the February release for Patreon members. Isn't that cute? It's called Mushrooms and Moon Quaker. I ain't even noticed the mushrooms, you all. I was like, what are they talking about mushrooms? I ain't even noticed the mushrooms. I was looking at these swans and this butterfly. I may do that butterfly by itself, like on a little charmer covered button or something. But isn't that pretty? The palette is beautiful. I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm doing it on gray, just like this is mocked up to be. So I think this is beautiful and well worth that membership price. The last thing I have to share with you, or second to last thing. Remember I said I made myself some bags? Well, here they are. If you can tell by the theme of most of them, I'm ready for winter to be over. Okay. This is my first one. This is an African print. And I'm actually saving some of this to do like a skirt or something for myself. And this is a favorite. I did a lot of these in my Etsy shop at one point, but I never made myself one. This is another plant lover. I love that one. Another plant. I have a Monstera in my house. It's one of my favorite plants. House plants. And then finally, I picked this fabric up last summer at a quilt shop in Columbia. I bought 2 colors. One of them I made a bag and put it in my shop. And then I kept this one for me. So I finally got around to making it. Now this is the last thing that I purchased. It has nothing to do with stitching, but if you are Gen X or grew up in the 80s, you will know what this is. I saw it the other day, and I think we were at Cracker Barrel for breakfast yesterday. And I saw it, and my husband was getting ready to check out. I said, hold on, I need to get this. And I handed it to him. The lip smackers, you all. Is it lip smackers? Lip licking lip balm. Okay. Remember that little tin that used to come in? I had to get it. So, if you grew up in the 80s, you know. That is it for my investments. Let's talk about, well, plans. I told you to stick with everything you just saw and get some of those finished. I want some finishes by the end of this month. Those of you that have been here for a while know that I am not a process stitcher. I am a progress stitcher. I like to make progress. I did purchase Markup XP. Like I said, I'm not very good at it yet, y'all. Still working on that because I got to get paper patterns into it. But I did buy it, and I am playing around with it. Actually, I put Trent's pattern in there, but it's not working out well because it is in pieces in the PDF. So I'm still going to use it, but I'm just doing a page at a time. And I told you the Notions app, which I already got, and I'm still working on that. I just do a little bit every day, and it's working well. Me inputting my charts, my whips, my floss. I'm just getting it all in there, so I'm excited about using that. I do want to send a shout out to Brittany Crossstitches. She talked about one of my project bags in her recent video and talked about my channel. So thank you so much, Brittany. It was a pleasure watching your video, and I am a subscriber, and I will continue to watch your videos. We do a lot of similar things. I liked her channel. So if you have not gone over to check her out, please go do that. Brittany Stitches. Brittany Cross Stitches is the name of her channel. I want to make sure I get that right. Who else have I been watching? I got to send a shout out to these two ladies. They have been under the weather, under the knife, and everything else. And we're back in their videos this past week or so. So I was so glad to see them because I had been sending up a few prayers for them both. And the first one is my friend Barb from Stitching with T and B. Stitching and T with B. I love her. Hi, friend. Glad you were back on the mend. She told you all about what's going on with her on her channel, but she's back stitching and doing all the things. So very excited. She had some tea reviews that I was super excited about and went immediately to check those teas out because she's my tea guru. I trust what she says. So I was just very excited to see her on the mend and recovering. So bless you, my sister. Good to see you. And continued healing for you. And then the other lady that's on the mend is Mom Carol over there on Too Tall Stitches. Lord have mercy. I'm so glad she's okay. I know that granddaughter is traumatized. Again, go over there if you have not been to Too Tall Stitches. They've been around a long time. So if you haven't seen them, you're missing out. But glad Mom Carol over there is on the mend and looking good. So blessings to both of those ladies. Glad to see them back on Flosstube where they belong. Y'all know who I watch. The Sunshine Stitchers. Thank you, ladies, for always shouting me out on your channel. These next few that I'm mentioning, if you are struggling with finishing, go check out these channels. That is something that I'm focused on in 2026, get some of these things finished. Now that I have been unpacking all my boxes and getting all my fabric out, my brain is just overloaded with ideas. I keep a notebook down here on my cutting table. Well, I keep a notebook everywhere. But this is a notebook that my daughter got me for Christmas. And I just brought it down here and I just write ideas. So I have all type of ideas for quilts, all type of ideas for finishing. I have to do a brain dump often. That's why I have paper everywhere, because my mind gets cluttered and then I don't do anything because I can't focus. So that getting it on paper helps me focus. I don't know. It will be soon. I will be doing a video on just my sewing projects that I have planned, my whips and the plans that I have for 2026, but that will be a separate video. So if you are not subscribed, go ahead and do that and hit the bell so you can get notifications, because it will not be labeled a floss tube. It will be a completely separate sewing video that I'm going to focus on what my whips currently are, because like I said, I've been getting out stuff and I'm like, ooh, I forgot I had that. Ooh, I want to finish this. So I'm gathering all those things up so I can show them in one video and then talk about my plans for each, as well as plans just in general for sewing, because like I mentioned in my whip parade, I want to do at least 6 quilts this year. So I need to get going on that. So if you're struggling with finishing, here's some people that I watch that I get a lot of inspiration from. Cow Stitcher, she just had a recent video, I believe it was her mom, and she always has excellent finishing. Low Country Needleworker, she's fabulous with her finishing. Just, I don't even know how she comes up with the stuff, but just beautiful stitching and finishing. Unfinished Stitches, they do a lot of wonderful finishing as well. And then I like to watch Georgia Girl Stitching. She was back with a couple of videos this winter, so it was just nice to see her. So those are some of the people that I have been watching recently. I've also been watching Law and Crime Investigates on YouTube sometimes while I'm stitching. I fell down that rabbit hole one day, so now that's on my list of things that I watch regularly, as well as just lots of sewing videos now that I have the space to do what I'm doing. So I think that's it, you all. I wanted to keep this one a little bit shorter. I don't know if I did it, but I hope you got a little bit of inspiration, and I hope I was able to catch you up. As far as life update, not a lot is going on as far as work. Parent-teacher conferences were last week, and y'all, if you know me, I can't stand parent-teacher conferences, you all. And they're never bad, but I just don't like doing them. And I think I only had like 12. And so we spent 2 nights and only spoke to like 12 parents total for both nights. So it is what it is. But that's done. Trent got glowing remarks in his parent-teacher conferences. We're doing band things. He performed at our Black History Celebration assembly last week at the high school. He played the trumpet at that last week, and then he's got some other things that he's doing. I'm getting ready to be a marching band mom, y'all. Ooh, help me. Layla's doing great. She's actually coaching a middle school travel team down in New Orleans. They asked would any of the college kids be interested in coaching, and she's coaching, drawing up plays, making lineups. So she's doing well. And then just me and Dad, me and Barry hanging here. Thank you for all your comments about that impromptu snippet at the end of my, I think it was my whip parade. No, it might have been, no, it couldn't have been my whip parade. It was my January update when they came through the door. And I think Layla noticed that the camera was running, but I didn't know it was running. And so you got to see all 3 of my people in that video. So still working on the sweatshop. Got a few more things I need to do. But I'm really enjoying my space. So I am very glad to be with you all today. I hope you enjoyed being with me. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Corycreates08. And please go check out my project bags at Layla P Creations on Etsy. So I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your February. And I will see you in the next video. Be blessed, you all.